babies, direct from the beautiful Inland Blue Studios. Honey, this is the Nerdlife Crisis podcast with your host, that fine-ass Chris Thayer, that beautiful Steve Hale, and that big hunker chunk of meat, Ron Milts. Woo! Mama's hot up in here. Let's get this party started.
Everybody, and welcome back to the Nerdlife Crisis podcast. Here's your host today, Steve Hale,
Mike Eastman,
and I'm Ron Milts. So sorry, we had to literally recut that like 5 times because Mike kept going in the wrong spot.
and you know, as you guys might have noticed already, that Chris is not with us this evening, so it kind of screwed up the flow and the order.
A little
of
bit.
things.
Well,
but,
it's his birthday tonight. And
happy birthday, Chris!
Happy birthday wherever you are. I'm sure you know you have
John's Incredible Pizza.
somewhere.
Share your favorite iZombie memes and tag Chris in them.
I just assume Chris was somewhere with a ball gag in his mouth, really enjoying his evening. So is that?
He's probably sitting at home putting all those Nerdlife Crisis
stickers
in the mail,
in the
to
mail.
envelopes and sending them out to anybody who's asked for them. Yeah,
And if you haven't been emailing Chris about your free sticker, you need to get on that.
yeah, please
so.
do, man. He's ready to get those out to you guys. Man.
Well, in all truthfulness, just so you guys know, anytime we're at a show, so if you come to see us at a show, if you buy anything from the booth at all, we're giving the stickers away for free.
How about that, dude?
So there you go. And it's like, it's amazing how many of those I'm starting to see on things like at shows, because Chris, you know, child labored his way into like a few hundred of those. So it's like
I was at a convention too, and I saw it actually inside the urinal, and I was like,
hey, free advertisement.
fuck, dude. Yeah, I was like, you guys are awesome for, you know, you're touching the pisser with your bare hands.
I've actually
So,
considered
that's dedication.
I've considered we should do like an advertisement blitz on the 91 freeway, because if Jesus can save everybody at every fucking off-ramp, the Nerdlife Crisis could have something up there as well. It seems just like free advertisement to me, you know?
All right.
So, like, download Nerdlife Crisis, you know, or just put Nerdlife Crisis at every off-ramp.
Well, isn't there like an election going on? Because I've seen some signs coming up.
We're like 50 days out,
Maybe
so.
we should make some signs too and put them right next to
Dude, like
That'd be
lawn
awesome.
signs?
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. Yeah. you know.
Dude, that's actually not a bad idea.
Vote Nerdlife.
Right, yeah. You know.
On election day, listen to the Nerdlife Crisis podcast.
We care about the issues.
We'll have a special presentation.
Oh, my Lord. Could you imagine my
Election
PowerPoint?
day.
That would be so great. I'm all, this man is Emperor Palpatine.
we get the
This is who you
I'd
should
be
be
like,
voting
this
for.
guy here promised us fucking free protein, didn't deliver, right? Mondays are chest Mondays, and
Yeah.
still nothing from this guy.
So it's the Palpatine Schwarzenegger ticket?
Yes.
Is that what we're looking at here? Although I don't think he's available to run, but we'll go with the Palpatine Conan ticket. How's
Right,
that?
there
I
we
like
go.
that. I'll take that one. And then what does he? What does Conan say? You know, to the vanquishing of your foes and the lamentations of their women, or
Yeah, you're
I'm like fucking up the quote, but I wasn't prepped for it.
And you
Sorry.
know what? I'm gonna get nailed on this because I haven't memorized it yet. I post it like probably once every 3 fucking months, and then I have somebody post it to me as well. You know, it's like, Conan, what is good in life, and is to crush your enemies. To hear the laminations of their women.
Laminations? You're gonna laminate?
We're gonna laminate them.
plastic coated.
Yeah. I mean, look, to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of their women.
Lamentation. There you go.
Yeah. So, and it's a paraphrase of a quote attributed to Genghis Khan. Thank you, Wikipedia. Right. So, who knew?
Damn Hungarians.
Genghis Khan wasn't a Hungarian.
I was damning you.
He's a whole different group of. He's a Mongol, so that's damn you Mongols.
You can't say that word anymore.
Oh, sorry.
You can't Mongoloid.
Oh, that's a whole different thing. All right, so we got a lot to talk about. Where to begin? So what have we been up to the last 2 weeks? Anything interesting?
We did get a small group together to go see the new Predator movie Friday night.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
It was Mike. Did you get the invite on that, or did you
I
just
did
choose
not.
to come?
I had my show going on, so
Oh, yeah.
I could not watch The Predator.
You okay? I don't know where you're going with that joke, but I'll just leave it alone.
Well, the original is called Predator, and then we
Right.
had Predators, and now it's The Predator.
Well, it was
Predator
Predator 2,
2,
Electric Boogaloo, which of course, you know, the breakdancing one.
Yes.
Predators, because there was more than one, and then The Predator. So,
And then there was the Alien vs. Predator 1 and 2 movies. Which
the first one, I will still stand by the fact that the first one of those was watchable and somewhat enjoyable. The one down in Antarctica.
Because that's what I want to see.
What? Snow?
Them fight in the middle of nowhere.
Well, but the second one, it was like, let's move it into the city.
Well, it was kind of cool how they were in that pyramid. It was like the most advanced, like.
But didn't Predator
Rubik's
2 say,
Cube
like,
you've
hey,
ever
they
seen?
like hot climate, that's why they're coming to L.A. in a heat wave,
Yes.
and they train in Antarctica?
Well, they prefer the heat, but they'll go where the enemy is at.
That's right.
Why would they
They'll
build
go
their
where
base?
the hunt is. Well, which brings us to
Oh, Jesus. This
the
new one.
Predator.
Oh,
So, Mike, we're going to sit here and regale you with tales of this film.
it's story time.
Yes. I will say that I had high hopes for this film.
Very
going
high
into
hopes.
it.
I went into this very excited.
Yeah. I mean, the promotional material looked good. And I would say the first...
I love Shane Black.
yeah. And you know what? The first 25 minutes of this movie, like the setup for it, I was like, okay, like I'm buying into all this. It's like I'm expecting really good setup with like excellent payoff, and that is not what we got.
So when I see it this weekend, I should like watch the first half hour and then just leave and make up the rest
You know
of my
what?
mind.
I actually, I actually disagree with Ron on this. I was annoyed probably within 10 minutes of this fucking movie. The lead character, Boyd Holbrook.
Who I've never seen this guy.
Well, he was the bad guy in Logan. He was the
Oh, was
merc
he?
in
That's
Logan.
right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, which he was acceptable in that. And I'm sorry, it was Boyd Holbrook. Okay. I found this guy to be completely fucking annoying and unbelievable from the goddamn jump.
Now, is he related to the guy who does Mark Twain?
He might be.
I don't know. I don't.
You never know. I mean, I actually worked with somebody that is related
Yeah.
to him. What's Al Holbrook or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
Hal,
super unimpressed with this guy. I think he overplayed the character by leaps and bounds. I did not find him believable in the slightest.
What was his character?
He was
American Sniper.
He was a sniper. Yeah, there was just nothing believable about him. Just nothing.
It was like if you take the concept of, you're like, all right, I have a military character that's like, I'm gonna go with this guy as the lead, but he was literally like the film version of a military character, where it was like everything about him was super duper, and he was quippy as fuck all the time, you know, and it was too cool in every moment, like, and then like, so basically the setup is like they're out. You see the the Predator ship coming into our atmosphere, and it like cuts to him and his team, and they're attempting to assassinate
drug cartel members. Somewhere
essentially
in Mexico.
And the ship crashes into the drug cartel.
All right, that's a good setup.
Sure, like, yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's a reboot of number one, but
yeah, I mean, it's like you're like, okay, I get, and that was my other problem, was there was too many moments that were like I'm gonna try and grab something from the past, but I'm gonna do the most sorry ass truncated version of it imaginable.
Well, the original had some of the best one-liners from this kind of an action movie.
knock.
I mean, it was chocked full of them. I mean, you've seen T-shirts, bumper stickers, memes, fucking galore of the original Predator. Their best work was that they were trying to use those original
concepts, yeah,
into this story, like paying homage to it. But I thought it sucked. It's like, well, that
well, for the first one's like an action movie that turns into a horror film.
Well, but here's the problem. So this Predator crashes, and instead of getting what you think you're going to get, which is like, okay, now him and his team are going to fight against this Predator in the jungle, literally, like, he, like, mugs the Predator.
pretty much.
He, like, steals
very
his
easily
shit.
finds some shit.
He, like, look, he steals his helmet and his fucking gauntlet. Like, one of his gauntlets, which apparently is the most important part of the Predator outfit.
Well, that's his
according to
self-destruct gauntlet.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It was like, we've moved along in time, and their technology has moved along, so it, like, didn't look like the one from the older movies. It didn't have, like, the digital weird display. It was all, like, fucking, like, Minority Report.
Hologram.
Smoother and
Yeah,
shit.
it was
wasn't
like,
as angular. And
nah,
shit,
but
you
it
know.
also wasn't as, like, you're like, okay, well, I can buy into the fact maybe that they've moved along technologically speaking, but there are, like, already a spacefaring people. Why do they need to have Minority Report on their fucking arm?
Like, they can manage intergalactic travel, but they're like, you know what? We're getting kind of tired of digital.
Yeah. It's like, this is like, too much to touch here, you know?
We like our spandex jumpsuit.
So this guy's fucking answer is he's going to steal the shit, and he runs into a town in Mexico, and he's like, I'm going to mail it to myself at a P.O. box. Like, that's his answer. And then it's like this weird sort of like, you're not really sure how much time has passed.
Right.
It could be a day. It could be weeks. It could be any amount of time. But it was like, all of a sudden he's like being interrogated. And then our government spooks, our bad guys, are interesting, like interestingly written, but their fucking motivations, like Alton Brown, I think is his name, the guy from Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
It was fun. As the bad guy,
Sterling Brown.
Sterling Brown, thank you.
He was probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Absolutely.
You know, I thought he was actually really
But
good.
their fucking motivations were, and they're one of those bad guys that the way they do business is, it's like they bring in Olivia Munn as this character, and she's like some zoologist. She's a Jurassic Park character where you're like, we need a zoologist to come in or whatever to look at this, and she like shows up, does her job somewhat poorly, and they're like, kill her, and you're like, whoa, like people are gonna notice she's gone. Like you just
you relocate her to Siberia or something.
Even that, you know, she goes tearing ass after this you know, super killing alien.
Yeah, it like escapes from the compound.
It
basically
just wiped out like, you know, 3/4 of this laboratory, and she goes running after it, which I thought was
and she caught
stupid,
it, which is even better. Like there were
but then when they move old Boyd off, they're gonna go lobotomize him apparently because it's just easier to do than just eliminating him. He winds up in this bus of what I originally thought from the previews was going to be some sort of a team of mercenaries, you know, real hard ass Blackwater guys.
Yeah.
And shit.
It was not the case.
It was not. It was like a bus full of guys who actually had some severe PTSD. They didn't need a predator in their life. They needed therapy.
Yes.
I hated the team. And they even had Michael Jan, right? Was that his name?
No, they had
Michael Jane.
Thomas Jane.
Thomas Jane.
They had the Punisher. Thomas Jane was sort of like he had Tourette's, and then he was buddies with not Michael Keegan, Peel. The other.
Okay.
No, was it Michael Keegan?
Yeah, Michael Keegan Key.
Key, yeah.
Yeah, so he was the Key.
He's the Key in Key and Peele. And then there was like nondescript Hispanic gentleman. And then there was...
what's his name? Alfie from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You know,
who had like no lines in the fucking movie.
No.
So how far into this movie do you actually meet this bus full of PTSD mercenaries?
25 minutes?
At least.
Yeah. You've already established like quite a bit, and then they like introduce this squad that all of a sudden decides like they see the alien and they're like, we're in, buddy. We're going to go kill this thing.
Yeah.
Like they're like, yes. Like, let's do it. And so, and as I'm sure you can only guess, they all get killed.
Of course.
Because it's like, you know, why keep any of these characters alive? And not only do they all get killed, but it's like it all happens in the third act. Like you don't lose any of them slowly throughout the movie. So you don't have time to feel for any of them because they're basically like the main characters of the film.
Yeah.
And they wipe them out and then it was just dumb.
Well,
like,
and then,
it was so dumb.
Then they fucking felt the need to and I hate this, and I'm gonna speak up about this shit. And I'm not being insulting with this. I'm being really fucking honest. You know, you guys know I'm a supporter of things, and this is one I'm supportive of. But I don't need my walk with autism in my Predator movie. Okay, I didn't need.
I would watch that movie. Predator befriends an autistic child.
I didn't need the whole kid element.
It was very reminiscent of the kid from Iron Man 3. Where it was like a lot of the same. It was like the guy's son. Like the guy's son ends up with the Predator shit, and it like dresses up.
And he figures it out real fucking quick. And then he's
got Asperger's.
It was
so
kind
he
of
figure out alien technology.
It was kind of a fucking cool little scene, but at the same time, it was like very fucking like no. He's wearing the fucking Predator masks, walking around on a Halloween night. Now in the original Predator movie, now mind you, this is supposed to be part of the same storyline. They have got Predator weaponry and masks in this laboratory, and they know they've been coming here. And in the original Predator movie, when he took that goddamn mask off and dropped it, wham! You know? And now here you got this 8-year-old kid walking around with the thing on his head.
And it's giant, too.
It's giant. It's lit up. It's kind of cool. And it does whack somebody,
Which is
was
kind of funny.
Cool. It was kind of funny.
But that's
I
like
just,
the one memorable moment from the movie is the problem. Like when you got done with the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
like that's the moment I'm like.
Even at the end, you know, what do
the
you call
PTSD squad.
Yeah, you know, none of the kill scenes were memorable. None of them
Lieutenant
were like,
Dan. When the guy gets his legs chopped off.
Oh,
that was. I just thought it was
force
funny.
field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, basically, like they're on the ship for no apparent reason, because the predator. Like
I gotta tell you,
we'll get to that in a
I
second.
fucking nodded out because I
Did
don't
you really?
fucking remember how they got on the fucking thing, dude.
But you don't need to. I mean, here's the thing. Like the movie has. It felt like there was a lot of logical ways that this movie could have gone, but then it was like. So the predator, they capture this predator. It's got like the ship, blah blah blah, and then like this other predator shows up. It's like giant, like it's got to be like 10 to 12 feet.
And
tall.
then they start to explain
like they've been augmenting themselves. That's the whole reason they've been taking, not for trophies. They've been taking the spinal cords of creatures so they could steal their DNA, so they could steal the best parts about them.
Did the Jurassic World writers work
Well,
on this
and then
too?
what somebody had fucking pointed out too is like, you're taking the fucking DNA of creatures that are technically
inferior
to you
Right.
in like every way, physically, technologically, you know, even logically. I mean, the fucking Predator was always fucking 2 steps ahead of Arnold's team,
Right.
You know, or all the other teams that they would kill. So you're gonna go ahead and inject their garbage into your fucking nasal cavity? I don't fucking think so, man. I just didn't find it fucking believable. Like,
And I mean, look, I didn't care about the global warming stuff. I just saw it as a plot point, like a poorly used one at best.
exactly, it's poorly fucking used.
It just
And
was,
you know.
It just was the idea of like, I think they grabbed onto something from Predator 2 and were like, because that was like a big plot point in Predator 2 was the
It was
idea
just a
of, like,
hot summer.
Yeah, but that was the whole thing. Was the planet was because it's warm, like that's when they come, that's when they like it, and then the idea being essentially like they're prepping for an invasion of the planet because the planet's warming up and we're all gonna die off because it's gonna be too hot. Yeah, like the look on your face
because you know
says it all.
because you know
dude.
their fucking ships in the beginning of this, they're like literally tearing through the fucking fabric of space and fucking like creating like a wormhole, and because Earth is the only fucking place in this whole fucking goddamn universe that you know all these aliens just need to fucking go to.
They don't want to live with the xenomorphs. So
you
those
know?
guys are bugs.
Okay, so getting aside from the obvious like down points, then the movie, like the problem is the kid becomes like the MacGuffin. So the kid becomes the key to all of this, and the giant predator basically, like, there's some package that this other predator was trying to bring to Earth, and the giant predator, like the Black Ops team, is like got it surrounded, and team PTSD survivors are coming to save the kid, who the Black Ops team now has, and the giant predator shows up while they're in a firefight. Literally shows up, fucks everything up in his path, walks over and like nukes the ship so that we can't have it. And then, but then has the, like, they have a universal translator, and it's all, I have seen only one worthy among you. And it, like, it's the guy's name, like our sniper guy.
He literally had a fucking karaoke machine from Costco.
that they had turned into a universal translator. And he was like, he goes, but he literally goes, it was, what was his name, like MacGruber or whatever it was, like McNuffin or something, and he goes, you will be the one that I challenge. And it comes out, and it's the kid. Like, the kid is the one that the Predator saw as an equal or a worthy challenger because he could decipher the Predator's shit. Like,
Does it make your head hurt? It makes my fucking head hurt.
Like, nothing about that choice, other than like a twist for twist's sake, made no sense. None whatsoever. And it is not as though the Predator had been stalking these people for a long period of time. He just sort of came across them when he killed the other Predator.
Yeah.
And then he fucking, like they all ran away like little bitches. And then now suddenly it's like, yes, you are worthy of fighting me. And I'm going to give you a 7-minute head start. And then the giant Predator annihilates everybody. Yeah.
But annihilates them all in just like, you didn't even care.
No.
How old is this kid?
9.
So it's like the end of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where the little kid like steps out in the Peter Parker Spider-Man costume.
And Rhino is going to fight with him.
But he actually fights Rhino.
But he doesn't fight. He doesn't fight with the kid. He just is going to take the kid because they're going to steal his DNA because he's Asperger's, which is apparently the next evolution of human.
And they even said that.
Literally.
Well,
They're like, M. Night Shyamalan could do it with bipolar disorder.
There are some theories that say that, people on the spectrum, it's the next evolution to mankind. It's not. Never mind. Ron will cut me if I go any further. So, it was just dumb. It just the whole fucking thing, to me, was a complete disaster. So when we walk out of the theater, and people were like, I had a group of like 20 people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, hey, it was good. I enjoyed it."
How's this?
And I was
entertained.
standing there going, I wasn't even fucking entertained. Like I was like, this fucking sucked so much. I actually started nodding out towards the end of the movie, and we did go to the late showing, which is.
That was it was fine by me, because I could actually go.
I was just like, I want my $15 back.
It was. How's this?
Luckily, the other 2 tickets that I paid for other people, they did pay me that evening.
Good.
So.
Otherwise, that'd been the worst $45 movie I've ever seen.
Just the plot. It sounds like it's almost like a Jurassic World or Jurassic Park alien kind of idea of like, oh, we are superior to this thing. We can contain it. Oh, no, you can't contain this thing. Life finds a way.
They literally.
But the Predator is clearly a logical, intelligent humanoid
It was
monster.
definitely funny when they had the fucking the smaller Predator like strapped down on the table.
And it broke free in like a second.
Yeah, it was like.
Like we took literally, they put a chain around its neck and then they like strapped its arms down.
In the
they
middle,
sedated it.
in the middle of the room. I mean, everybody's just like walking around. They're like fucking, they're dicking around on their phones. This guy's over there all fake on Facebook, and this chick's Instagram and shit. And there's an alien right in the middle of it.
And it's cool.
And,
it's cool.
And it's still, even though it's a smaller one, it's still fucking buff and scary.
I can see like trying to wheel and deal with this thing because it's intelligent life, but like trying to like contain it, and it just.
Can we have a serious discussion though about how you strap something down? Like at the bare minimum, put him in a straitjacket. At the bare fucking minimum,
Or get some of them goddamn ratchet straps for
exactly.
for your truck, at Pep Boys.
Iron lung.
Dude, the thing has giant mandible jaws, and it's like it can attack you in 1,000 different ways, and it literally bites this guy's fucking arm off. It's
right.
And it's like it. Once again, the Black Ops like government shit made no sense whatsoever. And it was like, it had every opportunity to be like really fucking cool. Like they could have just gone.
And that Black Ops base was really fucking close.
And expensive.
Was really fucking close to where our main character Noodles McVeigh lives.
Noodles McVeigh? Is that it?
That's what I'm calling him.
Okay, go
so,
ahead.
I mean, it was very close.
Yes.
Like just a bus ride away.
It was not far.
Yeah, they were on the way to,
Yes.
It was, god damn, man, that fucking movie was.
There was so much about it that when you watch it, and then there were scenes where you're like, I'm enjoying. Oh, dude, we haven't even talked about the Predator dogs yet.
I got lost on that shit. Dude.
Weren't those from the Predators or Predators?
Yeah, so they
use these things as like hunting dogs.
Kind of.
Well, no, these were big and dumb. The ones in the other
were
Predators
badass.
were fucking vicious and shit,
these were like, for whatever reason, they show up. And they like got him cornered on the baseball field, and the kid's there with the face, like the helmet and like whatever it is they were looking for. And then the Predator dogs don't do anything. They just stand there and look menacing and growl. And that's it. Like these things have the drop on them, but they're like, we're not going to attack. And then when the fight does start, the dude he's got like a cow gun or something. Like it was like he shot him in the head.
I thought he just shot him with a.
Was it a regular gun?
I think,
anyways, he shot one of them in the fucking head and apparently lobotomized it. So now it was like...
Just wanted to play catch.
And was fun-loving Predator dog.
And it was like... It was some sort of like comic relief throughout the movie. And
so
it's like...
It became like that thing that kept... It was literally like in the Transformers movie, the toaster from like the early Transformers movie that was like the surly fucking robot that was always around.
Yes.
Like that's what this Predator dog thing became.
That's what I want in my Predator movie, is a good comic relief alien.
And that's what it was. And it was it was like a puppy that followed Olivia Munn around, and she became like, hey, Like she's like, no, it's peaceful, guys. It was literally like, are you the fucking scientist from the new Alien franchise? That was like, oh my god, it just.
So, to wrap it up, so we can move on to something else, right?
Yes.
This movie sucked. Don't go see it. And at the very fucking end of it too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Listen, no, not the very end of the movie, well, which was terrible, but I won't give that away.
I'll
but
give
it had
it away.
a fucking great goddamn opportunity to see a bare-chested Olivia Munn and fucking nothing. Nothing. That's some bullshit, man.
Okay,
no
well,
payoff at all.
I will say that what we talked about with the end of that movie, like, okay,
Yeah.
so the pod that was supposed to be the MacGuffin but was not.
and this is gonna save humanity. And
That's what the one Predator was bringing to Earth.
Right.
Yes,
It was a
to
predator. It was a predator killer that could save humanity.
Al fucking Gore came out of that fucking pod, buck naked like the fucking Terminator, dude. It was like, like the steam's come out, and he comes out and is like, this motherfucker's gonna save the fucking environment, dude.
And he's all, my plan is to
I'm rid of the internet.
No, I'm just kidding. What really came out was a predator
gauntlet.
killing gauntlet.
So this gauntlet comes out, and then basically it turns into the Iron Man suit. So it's an Iron Man Predator suit.
And then the douchebag lead has to have the final fucking word and goes, that's my suit. I wear a 44 long. And I said, fuck out of this movie, man. I'm out. I didn't want to even stay to see if there was a hidden scene. I was like, blow me.
Well, here's what's funny about it was what we had talked about, which is originally they wanted it to be Arnold Schwarzenegger in the pod.
That would have been way better. I'd been like,
But
fuck
he
yeah.
wouldn't do it. He wanted a more substantial role in the film. So,
God
to which
damn,
I'm like,
Arnold.
dude, you're like 11D. Just enjoy it and like be fine with it. And it would have been a great ending to an otherwise terrible movie. You know,
It would have still been pretty freaking ridiculous.
if it was Arnold, he's a
Oh,
predator
dude,
killer.
He used a secret
And
weapon.
If the fucking miss fucking, and he's like, you son of a bitch. I would be like, and then it ended, dude, with him just like grabbing arms of somebody and they're just fucking like,
What if he'd have come out of the pod and he's still holding on to what's his face, the black guy's arm from Predator?
it did get cut off.
Yeah, it did, and he was like, "Look, like, like it's still just flexing, and the other arm is flexing."
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
I heard a rumor that Predator basically helped inspire Home Alone.
What?
That basically one of the ways they pitched Home Alone was like, let's do Predator but with a kid and burglars, like the end of Predator. I don't know how true that is,
It was
but I would like to see that movie.
Listen, there was a lot of coke going around in the 80s, more so than
I want to see the
now.
autistic kid and someone else. The Predator's trying to break into their house. See, that sounds fun.
There we go.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that. Yeah, but this movie, like, I know that we spent a long time talking about a bad movie, but this, I don't. Like, was this worse than Gods of Egypt? Because it was, like, in retrospect.
No, come on. Let's not get crazy.
But you know what you're getting with Gods. You have no expectations.
This, I was really just. Especially because I love Shane
even
Black.
said on the last fucking show that the initial trailer I saw, I was super unimpressed. And then they went ahead with their cute little cutting skills and made a really cool looking fucking second trailer. And I said, oh, wow. This looks awesome.
Right.
Let's get everybody together, $15 a head, and go see this fucking movie opening night. And fuck, dude, I should have gone with my initial feelings. on
Yeah,
the
but
initial
you know what?
trailer, man.
It did look good. Like, the trailer looked cool.
did.
But it was like there was
They also did that with fucking
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
But
so-
it's like that idea of they cram too much story into like
Too many ideas.
Think if we just done the movie where we're in the Black Ops station, like where they're like gonna dissect the Predator, and it just becomes like the Predator fucking shit up in there.
in the building.
In
You
the
didn't even have
building.
to leave.
Like it would have been
Stayed right
that's
there.
a rad movie. And then basically you spend like 40 minutes and it's like tense and dark and like nobody can get out because it's on lockdown. And then, or like crazy guys have shown up. And then like right at that moment, let your giant ass Predator show up. And then it's like now you're fighting an even bigger fucking Predator.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's that's a cool
We
movie.
didn't even really get like a whole lot of the really cool like invisibility, his cloaking shit. We didn't get a lot of that.
The fucking Black Ops guy or the sniper guy ends up with the ability to be. He gets the invisibility thing, like steals it. It's part of the gauntlet. They don't use it until like the end of the fucking movie, and then
And he kind of uses it like a parlor trick.
And it's like the dumbest, like the giant predator, their plan is that Olivia Munn's going to be invisible and she's going to jump on this thing's neck and beat it up.
I've got a plan.
Like that is literally what they do
choke
with
this
thing.
bitch out.
No, she jumps on it and it's all like hitting it. And that was literally, I looked at Steve and I'm all, are you fucking kidding me?
The little predator was ripping people in half with his bare fucking hands.
Right?
He didn't even need armor and weapons and shit, you know, and
It's like trying to jump on the back of a Bengal tiger and like, beat it.
If you're,
I saw an old man try to do that with an alligator.
Alligator's a little different.
It's like, hold on, guys, I got a plan.
it did not go well.
Did not go well.
All right, let's leave this train wreck behind.
Yes.
But let me ask you this real quick. In the pantheon now of Predator movies, because I believe this is our 6th Predator movie, where's it rank for you?
It went down to where the Predator versus Alien movies are at.
Well, there's 2 of them. So,
Yeah.
like, did you like? Because I actually think I liked
This is-
Alien Predator better than this movie,
Yeah,
the
I did.
first one.
Definitely.
And then I think
This is bottom of the barrel.
it's
for me.
not
This is
worse.
bottom of the
This
barrel.
is better than the second Alien Predator movie
This
because
is
that
way,
was unwatchable.
No.
Oh, that was just too dark.
No,
Couldn't
Predator
see
Part
it.
2 was awesome, dude.
No, not Predator 2, the AVP 2, the one where it's like in the small town.
Oh yeah, that was
that was
pretty bad.
really bad.
This is
Yeah.
way too dark.
Yeah,
that
there was-
too.
You couldn't see anything that was
That
going
too.
on.
No, well, that's
Yeah.
how they tried to save money on the budget.
And you know when you got Alien Predator eating babies, I don't like you.
I would agree with that.
No, I don't like that.
No, I would agree with that. So, but yeah, I mean, this movie was.
I like little babies.
I like for me in the Predator world.
They do too. They want to eat them. Baby back ribs.
In the in the Predator world, it's like for me, it's like Predator. Then you got Predators, the Adrian Brody one.
Yes.
And then I would say Alien Predator for me, Predator 2, because that movie's kind of a mess as well in spots. It can't decide what it wants.
A crime gang drama
Dude,
action movie.
listen,
Yeah.
it's got fucking Voodoo Willie, okay?
Like,
And that's fucking cool, man.
That is cool, but have you watched that
Say,
one
I
recently?
gotta take your heart, man. Voodoo fucking magic. I love those guys.
Plus,
dude.
you're all, wow, LA in '97 was apparently really rough.
It was going off, dude, for
apparently
sure.
in the Predator 2, man. I'm like, wow, there's some really heavy firefights going on in downtown LA in this movie.
There's a fun alternate reality where we can either go Demolition Man or we can go Predator 2.
Yeah, apparently, because goddamn, dude, like that's all I'm saying. So, all right, and then of course we go this new one, and then the AVP 2, which is terrible. All right, so we got to talk. Dropped the Captain Marvel preview today.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, like I'm really stoked for that film, dude.
Big time.
What were your initial thoughts, Mike?
I thought Mary Poppins looked weird.
Mary Poppins? Yeah.
Everyone talking about the Mary Poppins trailer, and I
No.
watched it, and I was like, she's punching old ladies. Like, I like this new direction Disney's going with, but
I did see the Mary
It was
Poppins
like when
trailer
it was
today
like
as
when
well.
they made fucking Gandhi Part 2. He's back
Yeah.
and he's pissed. Remember
Yeah.
that? He had the AK-47 and shit.
Did you ever see the SNL bit where they did the sequel to Jesus, where it was all J2, and it was what's his face from Inglourious Bastards, the German guy, was Jesus?
I have not seen
Dude,
this.
it
I
is
need
one of
to,
the
though.
funniest like short film bits that they've done in like the
shit.
last 10 years.
Okay.
And Jesus is like mowing people down with an AK-47 and like,
well, there's also one of those where it was, I think, a Mad TV sketch where Arnold Schwarzenegger, it's Terminator, at that point it was like Terminator 3,
yeah,
where he goes back and saves Jesus.
I remember that. Yes.
And he's like putting him up on the cross, and Mary's crying, and don't worry, he'll be back.
So, what were we talking about? Oh, my Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
So,
yeah.
Captain Marvel. So, Mike, what were your first impressions?
I mean, I'm waiting to see more. It didn't look fun enough to me. Like, I was like, Blockbuster Video, I was ready to have a good time, a little bit of
It's very 90s. I'm excited
a little
about that.
90s camp, but it was just like, I don't know the source material.
Okay.
So I have no idea what this is about. It just looked very serious.
Well, I will tell you that you're going to get a bit of the Kree Skrull War. So we
Yes,
got our first
I'm excited
Skrulls,
about that, yeah.
which is why I think she punched the old lady in the.
I assume.
We would hope.
It's
Otherwise, you're like,
what makes her a hero? Punch old lady. Like, yes, I'm gonna go be a hero on the bus right now.
Are you guys like thinking to yourself like there are some viewers that do not know what a Skrull is that are like that? Why did she just punch that whole?
I don't know what a Skrull is.
So Skrull, they are shapeshifters.
Okay.
So and what they're all about is, I mean, I think the next phase of the Marvel universe, it's going to be they've been infiltrating our world in order to invade it, you know, and it's like that. I think is like the next galactic thing we're going to see. And I think what we're also going to find out is along the way here, after we get done with Infinity War, is that some of the characters that we've been in love with for all this time have been Skrulls this whole time.
Or
like
even,
a Hale Hydra
even
situation.
people that we've also hated.
Right.
For instance, the director, I think the CIA, always telling the Avengers they need to stand down and shit.
Oh, you mean like what? Not the CIA. You're talking about. Come on, the Incredible Hulk. Why can't I think of his name?
Mustache Man.
Mustache Man. Yes, that is exactly his name. Thunderbolt
Mustache.
Ross. Sorry, Thunderbolt Ross.
The name's just as ridiculous as Mustache Man.
But yeah, I think that we're going to find out that the Skrulls have infiltrated, and I think Captain Marvel sort of the setup to that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to meet, you know.
As long as they explain why no one knows about this happening.
Oh, because it'll be like S.H.I.E.L.D. covered it up.
As long as they explain that.
I think that's the whole movie.
I don't care if it's a throwaway. It's just like...
Well, because you're going to get young, like Clark Gregg's coming back as Coulson. So you're going to get like a younger Coulson. You're going to get a younger Nick Fury with 2 eyes, which we saw in the trailer, you know. And he always has alluded to this idea of like, you know, they ask him like, how'd you lose your eye? And he goes, well, it's like basically it's when I stopped trusting people, you know. And I think that's going to be a big part of it.
So is Nick Fury a Skrull?
Yeah. It might be. You never know.
No fucking way.
Could you
dude.
imagine? Like that would just like Steve would be like, "What the ever loving fuck?"
Yeah, I don't think so, dude. I think Nick Fury is probably the sharpest person on this goddamn planet, dude. It's the only
amen to
one-
that.
The only one that could save us, dude.
But yeah, man. I mean, and there was all these like, there's a lot of quick flashes in the trailer.
Yeah.
So like, Ronan the Accuser is in one shot in the trailer that happens really fast.
Is it Lee Pace again?
It is Lee Pace again. He's back. And what's his face? Demon Ju, that guy that's in like every film. You know, he's like Star-Lord. He's like, or it calls him. He's like, who are you? You know.
Oh, I thought you were talking
Jimon
about
Hansu?
Jimon Hansu. Thank you. I
I
can
thought you
never
were talking about like
remember
Ron,
his-
Ron
like-
Howard's brother,
No.
Clint
Although
Howard?
Clint Howard was in Solo, which is always like,
right?
yes.
He's been in everything since
It's
the
a
Twilight
sign of
Zone.
greatness when Clint Howard is in your
The
movie.
minute Clint Howard shows up, you know you are watching a quality film,
Right?
House of the Dead.
Apollo 13, and like so. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. But no, man, this movie, like, it's got a little bit of everything going on. And I like the trailer. The trailer to me was like, it's like, okay.
I think her suit looks awesome.
Yeah, man.
Which is a big thing for me. I think she looks hot.
Brie Larson
I'm all
is-
about that.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? Yeah. When I saw the trailer, I mean, did you drop her in the middle of a fucking
Blockbuster video.
And I'm like,
Steve's all, I'm in.
I'm in, dude.
Sign me
You know,
up.
I miss those Friday nights. you
Well,
know?
and don't you feel like we're gonna get a lot of Sam Jackson in this film? Which I think is
Yeah.
like, to me, it's like, hey, it's almost like we're gonna get a little bit of a buddy comedy, not like a comedy, but like a buddy movie, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be Nick Fury and Captain Marvel, you know, Carol Danvers kicking ass, you know.
yeah, I think it looks pretty cool, man.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm all about anything having to do with like the Skrulls and Shield,
Yeah.
like and the Kree, like all that, like intergalactic stuff. I'm all about. So.
All right.
See, for me, it's also the source material is new to me. I didn't read this stuff back in the day. I was X-Men, X Factor.
You're right, right.
You know? So any of the Avengers stuff, you know, I know a little bit about it.
It's
here
a
and
little
there,
more
but-
deep cut. Like
Yeah.
they're like the Avengers were sort of a first tier book, but like a lot of the secondary, like this is like a second, third tier.
It's
book,
like when they start
you know?
getting into like the Silver Surfer shit, all these alien races and all this, like, you know, everything you see on like Guardians and stuff. At that age, it lost me, dude. I just fucking didn't. I just wasn't digging the.
Yeah, I was always in like Spider-Man
the-
kind of stuff as a kid. It's
Yeah.
like, all right,
Yeah.
the scrappy guy in New York kicking bad scientists' butt.
Right.
Well,
So
I
it's
just
new to me, but it looks awesome.
yeah. I mean, and I think like she's got an interesting power set, you know, and I mean she has the possibility to be like the like Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel as she was originally called has the potential to be like one of the most powerful characters in the universe, like in the Marvel universe, like especially with our current group, you know. She's at least like she's not more powerful than Thor, but she's definitely up there, you know. as far as humans go.
Chris will still be fucking calling for a fucking Black Widow movie, though.
Well, speaking of that, as a quick transition, so they announced today that the Disney streaming service, we didn't talk about this pre-show.
Oh, I didn't hear about this. This is new to me.
Yeah, they're gonna do a Loki limited series and a Scarlet Witch limited series, both on the streaming service, starring Tom Hiddleston and Elizabeth Olsen.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
That was just sort of put out into the world today. That's breaking news, as it were. Why are you looking like...
I don't know if I need to see more Scarlet Witch.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I love Elizabeth Olsen.
I would watch
she's the hot
Black
Olsen
Widow.
Yeah, but they're going to do a Black Widow movie.
Are they?
They are. Scarlett Johansson's a movie star. Elizabeth Olsen is a good secondary character in your film, or she's a good female lead. I don't think she can carry her own film.
I mean, I'm curious to see what they do with it. I'll have to see more. But
Look, at the end of the day, it's like you can't go wrong with more Loki. Like Tom Hiddleston
right
is
now,
fantastic.
As my wife is listening to this, she just threw her panties at her whatever she's playing her the podcast on.
And you know what's
very
crazy?
Excited to hear that.
He is like they sort of like grimy him up for these movies. But you look at him in like that King Kong movie, he's a good looking son of a bitch. Like when he was a little blonde hair and his glasses, I'm all, you prick. I hate you handsome fucking devils, man.
Oh, he's very pretty.
Like he is a very pretty man. And I know, and I'm like, this is why all the women love you. I only see like the greasy, like Italian version of you in the Thor movies in my mind, but everybody else, this is what they see.
The fucking greasy Italian. Fuck.
So if you're a greasy Italian, Ron Milts does not find you attractive.
Ron Milts,
I'm married to an Italian. Come on. I'm just saying, she looks like doesn't Loki look like a third tier character from The Sopranos? Like if they went to pick up a shipment and he walked in. Don't think about his green suit and all spaceman, but think about it. You put him in a regular suit.
Put him in one of those fucking those black fucking leather coats that gangsters like to fucking wear.
Yeah.
He could be a fucking new good fella.
Doesn't he look like he might have kicked John Wick's dog? That's what he looks like to me every time I see him, you know?
Fucking reek.
So that guy, speaking of a guy that was in Predators that did nothing the whole film, Jesus Christ. I do think he had lines that got cut, and at the end of the movie, he do you think he got done watching? He was like, "I swear I was in this movie more."
Right.
I said shit at.
How much did I get paid again? Fuck
it. Right.
I'm in Game of Thrones. If anybody is wondering, Game of Thrones.
So let me ask you guys this: so with this Loki Scarlet Witch news, with coming to the streaming service, so now we've got a Star Wars TV show, we've got Marvel doing their own MCU sort of spinoff. So we know that the Netflix shows are they're not giving them anything else outside of the Defenders, and that might be dying off soon, from what I understand. Basically they're gonna get to a point where those are the 4 characters they're gonna milk, or the 5 characters, and that's it. They're not
the last movie that they're slated to show on Netflix, I believe, is Ant-Man 2.
Yeah, and then they're done.
Yeah.
So I mean they're pulling pulling everything to their streaming service.
I don't care what Chris says. He could save his $7 or whatever the fuck. It's going to be crushing. I mean, this is going to be a force to be reckoned with this fucking.
And don't you feel like
Disney,
Disney, with them buying all the Fox stuff,
they're gonna have a huge catalog, man.
Absolutely, and everyone's like, well, how are they going to bring the X-Men into the MCU? And I'm like, well, they can now do it through their streaming service. They could cancel all the other X-Men shows that are on TV that Fox has licensed out, and just go, okay, thank you, Gifted, thank you, Legion, thank you, every other little show. You're gonna all peter out now, and we're gonna do our own actual MCU X-Men, and the rest of this stuff never happened, you know. So
I'd like to see them do a Fantastic Four.
They're going to that's gonna happen. Well, I will tell you this: if done well, and I know you keep you've had. How's this? It's as though your entire life, all you've ever eaten is Taco Bell tacos. That's all you've ever had.
#1 Mexican restaurant in the country.
Thank you.
Okay, but imagine that's all you've ever had. And then suddenly somebody, a real Hispanic, comes to you and is like, no, eat this taco. And then you eat it.
It's called a taco.
Well, imagine that you've never had our favorite taco place in San Diego, Steve.
Putos.
Putos. Puestos is the real name of it.
Delicious.
But Putos Tacos is the best taco you've literally ever had in your life. And it's if I'd never eaten that taco, I wouldn't know the greatness of a taco.
You know what was fucking great, though? The motherfucker had filet mignon and lobster in the motherfucker. Okay, these were $25 tacos.
It's so good. And every time I go back, I'm all, yes, I would
Yeah,
like.
we were sitting there, and there's literally fucking these little ragamuffin children wearing like rags, staring at us through the fucking window. May we have some more, please? Shoo. Okay? Shoo. Somebody get these kids out of here. All right? This is very, very high class tacos.
It's very pinkies out tacos.
Very fucking pinkies out.
So, but what I'm saying is, you've never seen the Fantastic Four done right.
Fuck, how many goddamn times do I gotta try though?
Their
Until
best
they
story,
get it right.
their best stories are not about them fighting people on Earth. It's about them exploring
Exactly.
the cosmos.
I
They're
got something to
explorers.
explore.
And not only that, but their best villain has never been done right because it
Because they rush it.
Yeah, they do rush it, but more importantly, and I've said this before, but Doc Doom is evil Tony Stark. And like when you realize that he's evil, not only is he evil Tony Stark, but he's like with a splash of Darth Vader, like
And a little
thrown
Lex
in.
Luthor.
Yeah, like it's like
He's charismatic. He runs his entire this country.
Yes. So he's like, he runs a third world country that he's the crown prince over. He's got his own fucking set of Iron Man armor that he looks badass in, that he shoots fucking laser beams out of his goddamn fingers. And he has a cape, like a Lando Calrissian green cape. Like, how much fucking cooler can he be? And he speaks of himself only in the third person. Like, come on now. Come
Well,
on.
You got me there. You
Dude.
sold me on that.
Like, yeah, I just once you see him done right, like you're gonna be like, I'm in, because Doc Doom is the best fucking villain in the Marvel universe, bar none.
See, they get like a TV show that they can do an entire season of like exploring different worlds, and they can like slowly build up Doctor Doom as a presence, and then wait for season 2 to actually bring him as an adversary.
They're gonna big screen the Fantastic Four. Like, I think
that's the problem.
Well, how about this? Maybe they'll introduce.
They go on
them.
adventures. Like
They do, but maybe they can introduce them in a movie and then spin it off into the streaming service. I mean, like, look, the streaming service by itself offers you endless possibilities, you know? So you could tell stories that are longer. You don't have to tell it.
I know, but I think
Ron
long
likes a story.
But I think long form
Christ,
television
likes a
has
story.
better opportunities for
So-
comic books.
Just so you know, I like now, no matter what we do or see or watch, Steve immediately looks at me and he goes, "What, did it have a good story?"
Was it earned?
we literally walked out of Predator and he fucking looks at me and goes, and with his angry Steve eyes, that I could tell the
Well,
disappointment.
because I just heard her say I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was
like,
all right.
What the fuck is this guy talking
And then
about?
he goes,
Over here?
did it have a good story? And he like storms away from me, and I'm all, what did I smack your child? Jesus Christ, here, man. But
That's a true story.
look, I was entertained by the Predator, but I need to sleep on things before I make
Right.
my decision. And then I woke up the next morning.
There's a straight line.
I woke up the next. Shit. I woke up the next morning and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't. That movie was terrible.
Yeah,
I don't need to
yeah.
watch it again." So
Well, I for one am very excited about Disney's streaming service. I think that we're going to see some incredible content come out. I mean, the Star Wars thing alone is awesome, but now a Scarlet Witch series and a
Loki, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, fuck.
Like, I'm in, dude. Sign me
Yeah,
up.
totally.
Like,
Totally.
sign me the hell up. Like, and I'm like, you can have my $7 a month. You know.
Yeah.
I'll just cancel Hulu and I'll transfer to the Disney one. You know. Probably not, but
I'll still have my Netflix.
dude, Netflix.
I'm also starting to think maybe that Disney. Has anybody been to Disneyland lately? I don't think they're going to sell this for $7. I don't even think they even know what $7 is.
I think it's going to be they've already said it's going to be cheaper than Netflix. Like,
Really?
they've come out and said it's, but they're not going to have a ton of offerings at the
So
beginning.
They're going to fucking hook us at first to say, this is fucking $4.
Well, that's
And then-
because you go to Netflix or you go to Hulu. Like, you go to Hulu and they're like, they have Disney movies on Hulu, but it's
Yeah.
like sort of the B-level movies, you know? And
The
it's
Aristocats.
and it's not Pixar. It's
No,
like, you
it's-
too
it's
can
like-
watch The Emperor's New
It's
Groove.
like Aladdin.
Hey.
No. It's the sequels. It's like Aladdin fucking 3. It's not.
Hey, that got
the
Robin
only-
Williams back
the only,
for that
The only
one.
fucking original voice now is like Gilbert Gottfried, because that motherfucker's like, listen, I'll work for
They're
anything.
going to do Aladdin 4. And he's like, I'm Gilbert Gottfried's back in Aladdin 4.
Well, if they're firing people with who said terrible things, and they can't have Gilbert Gottfried.
No, he definitely is not
A
going to be on
lot
the
of
Disney
fucking,
chain.
lot
Well,
of
I love what he
lot
said.
Of, lot of their former voices.
Oh yeah, like
you
Sarah
know.
Silverman's in Wreck-It Ralph 2, and it's like,
Don't get me.
That's why I love Bobcat Goldthwait.
Don't get me going on this.
Bobcat Goldthwait wrote Disney and said, "Look, you're using my voice for an upcoming nighttime spectacular for the World of Color," and he goes, "Since you have the stance on people who said terrible things, I'm going to give you the opportunity to pull my contract and not use me. I'll offer that up for you. I can't pull out of my contract, but if you don't want to use me because I've said just as bad things."
He is such a pussy now, though. He's sitting there calling fucking the great fucking Sam Kinison a bully and shit. Fuck him, dude.
Well, I mean, it's his personal experience. That's all.
Fuck him.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, you're fucking not funny.
Well,
Sorry.
I love the movie. He made the movie like about 5-6 years ago that opens up with a person throwing a baby in the air and shooting it like a clay pigeon. So it's a great way to open a movie. I was like, let's go.
You're like, well, I guess
It's about an old man and a teenage girl like traveling across the country to kill stupid people.
Fucking Shakes the Clown.
Oh, that movie. Jesus Christ, man. So, in other news, and I know that this is not of our age group, but they did announce that Netflix is going to do a Last Airbender series.
Yeah, that
a live action
lost
one.
me, dude.
A non-whitewashed version.
Apparently,
Because
look,
that fucking movie came out, I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
it was. I mean, I'm not a Last Airbender fan, so it's like I got done watching it, and I'm like, yeah, it was all right. And people are like you. They're like, I bet you like the story, and like yelled at me and threw popcorn and shit.
I would have thrown my Yu-Gi-Oh cards at you.
But I mean, look, I'm not invested in it. I've watched it. It's like, yeah, it's okay. I get it. Like, it's animation and it tells an interesting story. But I'm like, I didn't grow up with it in that way. Where, dude, it's you know what it was with the Airbender fans. It's like the fucking prequel fans, where they're like, how dare you change anything? How dare you not make the movie exactly as I wanted to see it in my mind?
I didn't see it because I'm not interested in the content. I just kind of.
They did water it down a lot.
It flew by me pretty quick. So
it was what it was, dude. It just was not. It just wasn't great. You know.
When I see any little whoa, and they're fucking changing the atmosphere with their fucking hands. I mean, I'm kind of interested.
Yeah,
but
they're air bending and water bending.
yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Look, I think most of the, and I've always said, I would, if you're gonna remake something that was made poorly the first time. Like, give it another go.
Yeah.
Like, because I think there's a lot of great ideas that are just poorly executed. And to me, this is one where I'm like, you know what? You got a property. It's kind of poorly executed the first time around. Give it another shot. You know, it's like, look, you're gonna end up with a Dark Tower TV show on Amazon at some point because the movie, they just didn't do a great job with it. But there are a lot of fans like me. Like, I'm literally sitting here rereading the books right now, and I'm on book 4, and I'm like, these would still make a great.
Well, it's like, look how long we had to wait for a
episodic,
Good Omens movie.
Yeah.
Or it's coming a TV show now. It's coming to Amazon Prime, and that's been talked about for probably a good 15 years.
And, it's funny, when we go back to talking about the Dark Tower series, is like, you would have thought that somebody up in Hollywood would said, wow, look at the success of all of these fucking like programs that are coming out on Netflix and HBO. I mean, Game of Thrones has been stringing us along for the last
30 years.
And we've got 30 more fucking years to wait till the next fucking season. They're like, and people are going to fucking watch it. It's going to be one of the probably biggest fucking things that hit TV since, JR got shot. All right. And they said, you know what, let's go ahead and cram all that content into a fucking hour and 45-minute movie.
I try hour 25.
Hour
dude.
25. That fucking 7 books?
And they didn't even get it. Like, it was like the Cliff Notes version at best.
Right.
And it wasn't even like the books. Like, they just were like, let's do a version of these that's kind of
wasn't
like
even the
books.
Cliff Notes. It was like the margin notes.
It wasn't even that, dude. It was like, let's take things that might have happened at one moment and do our own. It was just not.
And we talked about how we already knew it was going to be disappointing.
Yeah.
From the fucking jump.
But there was so much good about it, and so many things. Like, McConaughey was a good choice. I like Idris Elba. It was like, he was not my Roland choice, but I'm like, when I got done with it, I'm like, he would have been a good Roland. But you know what it was with that movie, dude? Somebody was like, you know what's good? Twilight and these other young adult things. Like, let's do the Dark Tower, but let's do this horror Western, and let's do it as a young adult book. Like, it will focus on the kid, and then the kid will get like his own gunslinger pet that he can run around with, and then it's like, it just like everything about it. Like, we're gonna just miss the mark in a lot of different ways, and I think it's like this Predators movie that we just saw was a lot of the same, where it was like let's. Like Shane Black is going, I was in Predator. I know what was cool about it. And then he wrote his own Predator movie, and I'm like, no, dude, you didn't know what was cool about it.
Well, he might have, but then I still think the studio interfered.
You think so?
I think it was a lot of studio notes going, oh, we got to have this moment. We want this moment in the movie, too.
I'll never forget the fucking time that you guys could be fucking, I know not a lot of people out there are fans of like Rob Zombie's movies, but back in the day, he was going to do a Crow
reboot.
And this was years ago, I think even before House of 1,000 Corpses. And basically, what his whole idea was this guy comes back as the Crow, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to just kill him and go back. He's just going to keep living his life. Anyways, so during the process of this, the studios just kept coming back to him and say, "Hey, it's really hot right now. Let's put this in. It's really hot. Let's put that in." And he said it just mutated into something. He's like, I just had to walk away from the whole fucking project.
Right.
Just it wasn't even his idea remotely anymore. So I think that happens a lot.
Well, I think what happens
you
also...
guys probably know more than me. I mean, you guys are, kind of in that industry. So.
But I think what's happening a lot, too, is they keep hiring these indie directors to do these giant tentpole movies. And so these indie directors are kind of feel beholden because they've never gone toe-to-toe with a studio before. They've kind of done their little independent work, and the studio's going to come in and say, look, we're going to give you, $6 million, and you're going to do X, Y, Z, and they just do it. So I think that's the problem with, like, you see with Jurassic World 1 and 2 and all these things, where it's like, these independent directors, they make good little movies, but they've never done a big movie before, and they've never had to stand up for what they believe in.
And it's not even just the studios, dude. A lot of times, if the actors are fucking big enough, they'll fucking start running fucking show on these productions.
Get Ed Norton on your movie.
Well, yeah. or like
shit.
the fucking the director of the terrible mishap of The Island and Dr. Monroe.
Oh, wow.
They put that motherfucking guy in the jungle.
There's a documentary about that. It's
Yeah,
so
you
good.
watch that? It was like that guy lost his fucking mind, dude.
Yeah.
Dealing with the studios, dealing with fucking Val Kilmer, dealing with fucking
that was
Marlon
a lot
Brando.
That was a lot of the inspiration for Tropic Thunder, like that and Apocalypse
Oh,
Now.
fucking
those
A.
two movies.
The Heart of fucking Darkness.
Yeah.
Dude, he literally just like went into the jungle for like 4 fucking years after
Right.
that, dude. I mean, he really lost his fucking shit, dude. I mean, and have you guys ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the theater going,
This is crazy shit.
what the fuck? And what is terrible is the goddamn practical effects of the makeup.
Look great.
Fucking phenomenal,
Yeah,
dude. I mean,
yeah.
just off the hook.
Mind-blowingly good.
Wasn't Brando in that, too?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like never do a jungle movie with Brando.
And that was at the end, too,
Yeah.
Isn't that his last one?
I think so.
It was like right at the end. That was his last
That and he did like some
Had
like
lost
crime
his-
caper thing.
Had lost his goddamn mind and shit, and just
Oh, didn't he do the movie with Matthew Broderick was his last one?
Val Kilmer stopped talking to anybody.
Really?
It was like radio fucking silence, man.
It's rad, dude.
But
Yeah, I'm sorry. We totally got off course here.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I don't even remember what we were talking about before.
Disney streaming.
Disney streaming. So yeah, and I think with this Disney streaming as well, like I think the Netflix shows. I think the end is near for them. Like
No.
I don't know. I mean,
I think we're gonna get another Daredevil for sure.
They're experimenting with some other stuff out there too. That's popular with different crowds. I don't know. We'll see.
But I mean those they've basically they're not doing another Defenders. So they're gonna do like a Heroes for Hire, so it won't include Daredevil, but it'll be like Luke Cage and Iron Fist,
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. But I mean, I think at this point it's like, as much as we talk about the superhero fatigue, I think like the tertiary stuff is getting fatigued. And I don't know about you guys, but I haven't been as excited for those shows since the first seasons were must watch.
Yeah.
And then
For me, the last one was
Yeah.
Well, there's so
Punisher,
much.
So
It's kind of like with the DC TV shows, where it's like I don't want to watch Legends of Tomorrow and The Flash
I don't wanna watch any
and
of
Arrow
those.
and all of. It's like I just want to watch The Flash.
yeah.
but Legends is so fun. I love Legends tomorrow.
I'm busy.
Okay.
Today I had the option of watching new Netflix Marvel shows or watching American Vandal.
I don't know what that is.
It's the season 2 now. It's amazing. Basically, it's like a mockumentary about high schoolers trying to solve a vandalism thing.
I saw that. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
freaking great.
Okay.
But I was like, I can either watch something that's part of this whole world and have to remember, okay, who's doing what, what's going where, where's this person right now, or just
Right.
watch something self-contained and interesting for 13 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, I look, I get that. It's like your time is finite, and for me, it's like I don't really watch any broadcast television anymore.
No.
My TV is very limited in what I watch these days. I mean, there used to be a time in my life, and I think about it now, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what was I doing? Where I'd be like, I'm only gonna watch 3 hours of TV a day. That's all I'm gonna watch because I'm limiting myself.
The Emmys were on last night, and I'm like going, I haven't heard of that show. I haven't heard of that show. I haven't even heard of that. Who's that person?
You haven't heard of Game of Thrones? Are you Chris? Like he's all, oh, is that the show with the guy doing?
But
the
no, like, there's like a
thing?
lot of like there was an Amazon Prime Western thing that I had not heard of, and I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. And
You should
all
check
the
out-
mainstream
I don't
shows.
watch any,
You should
any
check
of
out
those.
though. The wife turned me on to that. It's on Amazon Prime, which is the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Yeah, I heard
like,
it's great.
that show
The
is actually a lot of fun.
The commercials
dude.
look very funny.
It's fucking witty and it's
Yeah.
well written, and it's about this woman, and basically like her husband leaves her at the end of the first episode, and he's like an aspiring comic and in the 60s, and he totally steals Bob Newhart's bit that he passes off as his own, and she's like being supportive, and then she gets mad when she goes, oh well, maybe you do your own stuff, and he's like, you know what, I'm leaving you. And so she fucking goes back to the comedy club and does like 15 minutes of ranting, but she is witty, like,
Yeah.
and she's been witty
Well,
the whole time.
She's telling the fucking story of her
Right.
mother, how her virtue is a garden.
Yes.
And every time I see this scene, I'm like, this chick is so goddamn hot. I don't know why I'm so turned on by this right now, dude.
But she gets up
I'm
there.
gonna climb that fence right now.
Dude, but she gets up there, Steve, and she starts talking about like his little dick, and like it's like 1960s, and she's like, and you know what? He just gets on top of me, and it's like, just go at it, and, da-da-da. And then it's like the cops come in, and then at a certain point, like they're just in there in this club, and she just is like, you know what? She's all, and look at my tits, and she like drops her shirt. She goes, look how great they look, you know? And she's like, how could he leave this? And then like the cops pull her off stage.
It's
And
got
then
what's
about-
his name from Monk.
Yeah.
Is her dad.
Yes.
And
Tony
he's
Shalhoub.
very funny. I've always everything he's in. I always
And her
enjoy,
parents
dude.
are very like, I want to say they're supposed to be like Jewish, like very
They-
like
yes,
yeah. And
East
they're-
Coast Jewish.
And it's very like, how dare you, like you couldn't keep your man, and like but like the show, it's like, it's heartbreaking, but it's fucking funny all at the same time.
Yeah, he's like, she was in the bathroom for a very long time.
It's like, dude,
She
it's a
look-
good show. It's a good show. And I took your suggestion and watched the first episode of Jack Ryan, dude. That was dope.
All right.
So, all right. Well, we're getting towards the end here. Real quick, we dropped the Joker Joaquin Phoenix picture.
Yes.
Like, we're excited about this.
I don't know.
I'm still wondering if it's a
Listen.
prank.
Listen, dude.
Like when
he's-
he hit me this rap movie.
I
loved acting.
love his fucking Dockers and his members only jacket. I'm like, this screams the Joker to me.
Doesn't it feel like they're trying to make like a Killing Joke into a film, and they're gonna backdoor it somehow? Like, I don't know how this is the Joker. Like, is the Joker really that much older than Batman as well?
I'm okay with that.
Really? Like, I don't know, because then he's like, Batman's like 30 and the Joker's 60. Because Joaquin Phoenix is not young.
But how old is Ben Affleck?
Yeah, but it's not the same universe.
So how do you know how old this Batman is in this universe?
I have no idea. He just looks old, and he's like the same age as Thomas Wayne. So
You can have a 40-year-old, 50-year-old Joker. Like this guy, he's worked
like-
he's worked his entire life to do. Especially like if you're a stand-up comic, like when you get like 40 and like you can't get gigs anymore, and you're
I
like,
just-
screw the
I like how he's
world.
fucking rocking Javier Bardem's
Yeah.
haircut from No Country for Old Men.
Whatever.
You know, we need to bring that fucking haircut back. With
bowl
that
cut.
members only jacket and
The mushroom
Dockers,
hat.
you know, and it's like scared the shit out of fucking old dudes at
I
fucking
don't know, man.
convenience stores.
He's like, get off my lawn, Joker. He's like, listen here, you
Yeah,
whippersnapper.
right now, man, this fucking scene. But what I'm fucking hoping is like, it's gonna be like, oh, I was a bullied guy, and then all of a sudden he just becomes super fucking violent, fucking Joker.
I think we're gonna see like another version of like a Heath
But,
Ledger
you
Joker,
know,
like
like,
not the same take at
fuck
all, but like
me.
it's a serial killer, serious, creepy, weird, realistic Joker as opposed to
Cartoony.
It's
Yeah.
starting to get
Campy.
like fucking Frankenstein's monster for me, where it's like, how many fucking times we gotta see the fucking Joker, and we're gonna get some fucking origin story, how he got his fucking scars.
Well, and he's not even going to be the Joker for like the film. I mean, it'll be like Darth Vader in Episode 3, where you'll get him in like the final like 10 minutes. He'll be the Joker.
You know, and honestly, my generation is supposed to be like, hey, man, Jack Nicholson is the only... No, bullshit. To me, it's Heath Ledger, that opening fucking scene of them doing that bank job from beginning to end. I could not get enough of that fucking Joker.
And I don't need a Joker origin story. Just let it be what it is. Like,
Right.
I don't need it. And I keep seeing it, and people are excited about it, and I'm all, who is excited about this?
I'm
film?
excited about it.
You would be. Fucking magicians. You're like, he's gonna do a card trick with his card, and
Yes.
you're like, and he's gonna do stand-up comedy.
That was the best part of Ant-Man 2 with all the magic tricks.
The fucking, I see the best Joker fucking magic trick is when he made the fucking pencil disappear.
And that was great.
You know, so what tears me too is I am a fan of Joaquin Phoenix. I love his films.
Okay.
So
I'm just saying we ended up with the
know,
wrong Phoenix.
but you know what? Oh, yeah.
too
You know,
soon?
I also said that about fucking Jared Leto. You know,
The wrong son died.
that was a fucking terrible Joker. There are still people who think that was fucking good.
I see that shit at
understand.
Comic-Con all the time.
Yeah, you know, I did see a female Joker that based on the Jared Leto Joker, and she looked pretty hot. I was
They're
like,
they're
that is
complete
acceptable.
rip-offs of the fucking Chappie people. I just, like, now that I've seen it, I can't unfucking see it. I'm like, you just were like, Antwerp, I like the way they look. Let's just turn the Joker and Harley into them.
To
you
rappers.
know, I mean,
Jesus
they gave us a
Christ.
little. They gave us a little nibble. It wasn't much.
Dude, the minute that Joker showed up with the grill and the fucking
the Marilyn Manson grill.
and the fucking the tattoo on his
tattoo.
forehead,
Yeah.
I'm all hashtag not my Joker.
Right. The best part actually was when they were doing the job where all his fucking henchmen were dressed up like fucking panda bears and fucking eyeballs and fucking tack vests and fucking M4s and shit. That was
I can get
cool.
behind that.
I was totally like, that's like Joker henchmen. To
Sure,
me.
I can get behind
the,
that.
The best Joker henchmen, I think, in any really of the movies were those.
Yeah.
They were better than the fucking clown masks on everybody. They were better than I don't know what the hell they were doing with Jack Nicholson's. They were
dancing to Prince.
so fucking. Chris is like, yeah, fuck, dude, I'm in. You know?
He's at home listening to that right now. What are you talking
Right?
about?
I've been playing that soundtrack. For
I'm sure
30
it's on
fucking
his
years,
phone. I'm
yo.
sure that's his ringtone. Since I keep getting letters from them about his ringtone going off during our show.
We want royalties.
Copyright claims on our shows. Like every time his phone goes off, we get a copyright claim.
Prince is not dead. Man. He is everywhere. He's listening.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I don't know. I give it a little bit more time. Let me see a little bit more before I make it.
I mean, it's only 3 pictures right
three
now.
Fucking
Yeah.
picks. So,
Well, I will say that
No.
like that. I'm the only thing I'm more excited about than that is Overlord. So we.
I cannot wait for Overlord.
So we're gonna as we get into October, we will definitely do an episode about
Absolutely.
that, like where we're gonna go because Steve and I are like
we're gonna have a viewing party for that. So
Yes.
if anybody out there wants to get together with us,
See Nazi zombies.
and see Nazi
absolutely,
zombies,
and we're gonna go see Halloween as well. So yeah, keep an eye out if you're local. Like we go to the movies and see shit together from time to time.
You cannot sit next to me though.
That's my job.
You're only wrong because I gotta like. He starts having anxiety and he starts walking around and shit. He needs to take a breath.
He needs someone
and
to
I
hold
gotta
him.
reel him back in. I gotta get back here.
I
You can
legitimately-
fucking watch this movie.
I legitimately do not think that I can sit all the way through Overlord. Like it's like an episode. I know you guys. Oh, by the way, remember how I've been on like the get up back on the Fear the Walking Dead bandwagon?
Yeah.
Dude, it fucking derailed. It derailed.
Of course it did.
They didn't even give me the hurricane zombies that I had hoped for. Basically, they teased it at the end of the episode, and then we jumped to the aftermath. And I'm all, no, I wanted zombies blowing in the wind, like flying through windows, and fucking tornado zombies. And no.
You're like,
No.
It's an abusive relationship with you, Ron. Like, you
If
keep going
if they
back.
do that, then they have to say,
I think
okay,
it's changed.
Now we have literally done it all. No more episodes.
Well,
so they're going to
we're-
stretch it out a little bit longer.
We are currently, yeah.
I'm more excited to watch Z Nation than I am to watch
Oh,
Fear.
Fuck
fuck.
out of here with
Listen,
that.
I have a couple of friends. You know who you are, Robert and Michelle. Love that fucking show. I tried to watch it with them, but I was like,
The zombies
okay,
are talking now.
I'm
They got
out.
talkers.
Fucking out.
They got
You
talkers and
cannot be a
walkers.
fucking talking zombie. That's fucking lame. That's breaking the rules, man. There are rules. This is not Vietnam.
Have you guys seen My
can't
Boyfriend's
just go-
Back? That's a great talking zombie
you
movie.
can't just go fucking around doing whatever the fuck you want. There's fucking rules, man.
What was that? What was that romantic zomcom? The one where they lived in
Warm Bodies.
No. Was that the one where the guy lived in the plane and it was Nick?
It was like Romeo and Juliet with zombies.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was terrible.
Kill me now. That just.
It had what's his face in it? John Malkovich.
No, I must be thinking of the different one. Oh yeah, no.
He was their dad. He was Lord Capulet.
Yeah, it was not good. It was,
But no, like My Boyfriend's Back. It's a good, really fun, dark B horror film, like done like kind of B horror 50s style.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
There's even like a Nazi scientist in it, like at one point.
I feel like I saw that movie at one point. Who was the star of it? Do you remember?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I just know it kind of had that like.
You're not talking about the song by the Angels, are you?
No,
Oh, okay.
but it was inspired by that song.
Okay. What's as far as like?
But, like I remember he turns into a zombie and like his parents are like so supportive, like they're picking up toddlers that they've picked up at the the convenience store.
Is it like a late '80s film?
Yeah, like late 80s, early 90s.
Okay. I do not remember this movie at all.
That's my second chance movie.
Is that like you deep cutting that one here?
Go find somewhere because you can't rent it.
No, you can actually rent it off of Google Play.
Hey,
It's got easily one of the worst posters I've ever seen in my life here.
with like her leaning against like the tombstone.
Yes.
The rose coming up out of the ground.
Yeah, I don't know that I've ever seen this movie.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Is it gory?
It's a little bit gory.
Well, it has a 4.6 out of 5 rating on Google Play, so there's at least 90 people like Mike that really love this movie.
What was the name of it again?
My Boyfriend's Back.
God, I've not
This
heard
guy,
of that
like, he saves this girl's life. It's like a convenience store robbery.
one. When did this come out? When?
Here's it. Teenager Johnny Dingle will do anything to keep his date with the hottest girl in school, even come back from the grave. You see, Johnny had the perfect scheme to win the heart of Missy McLeod, the town beauty. Unfortunately, Johnny's scam goes sour and he winds up dead. Even so, Johnny's determined to keep his date, unaware of the hilarity waiting for him upon his return. See for yourself why everyone's dying to see this outlandishly funny comedy.
It was fun and dark. Like, there's a great scene where he comes home and like there's this like little kid sitting on like the kitchen counter and they're like, "Oh, we picked you up something from the store," and it's like, "Mom, you can't keep kidnapping kids for me to eat."
Hold on. One of the reviews says, an awful teen horror comedy. Simply put, absolutely none of it works. The movie utterly fails to set a foundation for its dark fantasy, effectively turning every character into a moron. Like, are you sure you want to go with the second chance? It's your first second chance movie, Mike. Are you sure this is the one you want to go with?
I will double down.
The movie is full of nonsensical plot twists, embarrassingly broad performances, and unappealing characters.
4.6 out of 5 stars.
I like the reviews on this by itself are worth the price of admission. So, Napkin Thin Pig starts falling apart in the first reel.
Wow. In the last episode, did we do Excalibur?
We did. A gross comedy about a teenage zombie's romance with the prettiest girl in school. It's cheaply made, thoroughly cliched, and absolutely guaranteed to turn your stomach.
Yeah.
Mike, you might be barred from the show after this.
Check it out, guys.
And for everybody that bitches about Chris, this is why Chris is on the show. Because at least he goes, I have a little movie you might want to see. It's called E.T.
Fuck you guys.
He just channeled Chris.
He just channeled Chris.
So I think last episode we were talking about Stargate.
We did.
Yeah.
I had a listener out there, Robert, messaged me. He wanted me to let you guys know that that Stargate ran from 1997 to 2007.
Okay.
The first 5 seasons were on Showtime. 6 through 10 were on Sci-Fi, and a few episodes showed some nudity on Showtime.
Oh, so it's worth watching.
Well, you know, as soon as I heard some nudity, I had to let you know that.
But
so,
hold on, a few episodes over 10 years. Like, I could just YouTube that. I don't need
we
to.
could make a site. Okay,
That's all that is?
we could just point out all the nude scenes.
Not only is that a plot line from the movie Knocked Up, but then they immediately recognize the fact that
already
this
exists.
skin
It does?
exists.
Okay, how about this? How about this with your voice?
Okay, Chris.
You can go ahead and fucking. People will say like, "Hey, I want to see a movie. Like, what time is it playing?" And you're gonna go ahead and the way you just read off that review, you could fucking
Movie phone? You want to do movie phone?
fuck.
Is that like
Has that been done
1992 called and they want your...
Hello, welcome to Movie Phone.
All right, let's wrap it up right there. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I am Joaquin Phoenix Hairlip.
I'm Turd Ferguson.
I'm supporting my boyfriend's back.
Hey, we hope you guys are having a nerd life crisis. Music for the Nerd Life Crisis podcast is provided by Big Papa and the TCB. All music available at bptcb.com or at iTunes. The Nerd Life Crisis is recorded at the Inland Blue Studios. Make sure to subscribe to the Nerd Life Crisis at iTunes and like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Nerd Life Crisis.